Hey guys, I wanted to bring you a really simple class today that you can do in your own home. We don't need any props. I'm going to call it the Booty Blast because we're going to focus on our tush. And it'll be really simple, so I hope you guys can join me. We're going to start laying on our backs. So once you're situated, let's just check in really quick. You want your feet slightly separated. Arms are long at your side, chest is nice and open. And from here, let's just take a couple deep breaths. We're inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And just settle in for a moment. And exhale. We're going to go right into a bridging series to start. Take a breath in, and on your exhale, you're going to curl the pelvis and bring yourself into a bridge, lifting the hips. Holding there for a moment, let's check in again. You want to feel like you're really tucking through the hips or pushing your tailbone up towards the ceiling as your rib cage is drawn in. Hold that for a moment, reaching the knees towards the toes, feel that length. Take a breath in again, and exhale, we're going to slowly peel down. So I want you to just feel like the articulation of that spine is slow and controlled today. Once we're all the way down, we're going to do one more slow like that, just to warm ourselves up. Tilting the pelvis, curl back up into your bridge, and holding there. Check in again, pushing the hips into that nice open position. Tailbone is up towards the ceiling, ribs are in, holding there. Take a breath in and exhale, sink through the chest and the ribs come down and we articulate all the way down until our tailbone hits. All right, here we go. We're going to get right into it today. Lifting back up into our bridge on our exhale. You're going to lift up and hold. So here's where the fun part comes in. You're going to lift that right heel off of the mat without moving your hips. You're going to switch, slow, and switch. So we're alternating which hip is lifting, and we're doing our best to keep the hips completely still as we change. And switch. And switch. We don't want to be feeling it in our back. If you need to lower your bridge down just a little bit, that's totally fine. Keep this going. Warming up through the back of the hamstrings and the glutes. Feeling that heat right away. And switch. Can we do 4 more? We've got 4. Sink those ribs. And 3. And 2. Last one. Both heels are going to lift up. So we're on our tippy toes, pressing evenly into all toes. We're going to sink and roll down through the spine with control all the way. Tailbone is going to hit and the heels will lower. So going into our next thing, we're going to lift up into our bridge again. We're going to hold. Find that nice, strong bridge. Shift your weight into that right foot just a little bit, and then we're going to pick this left foot off of the floor. If we can stabilize, bring it all the way into a tabletop position and set it back down and hold. Can our hips stay lifted as we switch sides? So we're going to take that right leg into tabletop. Slow and controlled is key. And then you're going to bring it back down. Stay lifted in those hips and roll yourself down. So just checking in from one side to the other for a moment. Lift back up into your bridge. We're going to hold it here. We're going to do one of my favorite exercises, and we're going to isolate each side of the tush. So you're going to take your left hip, drop it down towards the mat for a moment, and then lift it back up. Take that right hip, drop it down towards the mat, and lift it up. So if you can't see me, I'm literally just kind of letting go of my glute on the left side, letting it drop down, and then I'm pressing it back up. So I'm isolating that side. And then the other side goes, right hip, press it up, left hip, press it up. Right hip, press it up. One more on each side. We should be feeling this pretty quickly. Lift it up. Last one. Right hip goes. Lift, hold there. Find that nice strong bridge and roll down. See how controlled and slow you can make your roll down. Gorgeous. That tailbone comes down. And we're gonna lift up. Rolling back up into our bridge. Feeling that heat in the tush already. Both heels are gonna lift up off the mat. Without lowering the hips, the heels drop. So here we go, lift and drop. Lift, little shakes. That's a good thing, lift and drop. Really press through the tush as you lower the heels. That's where the work comes in. These are you're trying to keep those hips up, 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 and not let them lower. So we've got 4, and down. 3, ribs in. 2, and down. Last one, and down. Heels stay down, and we'll roll ourselves all the way down. Good work. Just a quick little figure 4 stretch. We're gonna cross the right ankle over the left leg. You can stay there, or if you can maintain the hips down on the mat, we're just gonna pick that up and just pull it in really quickly. We wanna keep our tailbone and our tush down on the mat as we stretch here. And then switch sides. So either, again, you could just hold it in this stretch if your hips are really tight, or you could pick that up, bring it in. Woo, feel that? Alrighty. Good job. So I always like to do a little bit of abs because it's my favorite, and even though we're focused on the booty today, we're also gonna just say hello to our abdominals really quickly. So to start, arms are along at our side again. Pick up your right leg into tabletop. Left leg is gonna join it. Hold there. Get a nice long neck, ribs are pulled in, feel the abdominals control here. The knees are gonna come towards us, hips lift, and we bring it back down. So we're looking for control. It is not a flinging of that lower body. We're not overly using momentum. We're using that low abdominal control here. So tabletop, exhale, lift. Tabletop. Exhale, lift. There's lots of ways to advance this, but we're just looking to say hi to our abs really quick, keeping it simple today. Let's do 3 more. 3. How slow can you make that movement? Sometimes slow and controlled is more challenging than those quick movements. And lift. Can we do 1 more? Yes, we can. We're gonna lift, and we're gonna take it to tabletop. Holding in tabletop. We're gonna take the hands behind the head, and we're gonna lift into our chest lift. So you can clasp your fingers behind your head. You want nice wide elbows, lifting up into your chest lift. Pull the abdominals down into the spine, and we're gonna do toe taps. Right toes reach away. Notice nothing is moving in my body. Other side. Reach the toe away and lift it up to tabletop. So if we're doing this correctly, you might even find little shaky shakies. And that's a good thing. Means you're working. Pulling those abdominals in, don't let them pop up. Sink that belly button into the spine. Stay lifted. I'm working hard. I love these, they're effective. And now I'm gonna cross, just a little baby twist. And twist. It's not huge. I wanna think armpit to knee. So I'm trying to lift that armpit up and over to the opposite knee. I'm trying to keep my elbows wide, which makes it more challenging. Lifting up and over. I've got my nice little wobbles going on. Up and over. And come back down. Reach those arms. We're gonna reach those fingertips, sink those abdominals, tuck that chin. Give me teeny tiny little pulses. Try to keep that belly button nailed down into the spine for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Hug the knees into the chest. Let the head come down for a moment. And we're gonna rock and roll up to seated. So now we're gonna do my favorite sideline series, which is super effective for the outside of the tush. So we're gonna let the legs come together, and we're gonna lie down on our side. So from here, get yourself situated, hips are stacked, head is relaxed all the way down on the arm. So you could prop up if you needed to, but I like to keep my head down and keep my body in one long line. From here, If you can take that top leg and reach it out longer, you'll find a little lift in your waist. So you're not actually cheating with your waist down, it's kind of lifted away from the mat. Hand is on the floor to help us balance. You guys ready? Flex those feet, and we're gonna lift that top leg up. Hold there. Can you make it even longer? We're gonna lift it up and down without moving the hips. That means it's not a very big motion. So I always love these. They're so effective, especially when they're done well. Up and down, keeping it simple for the first few here. Let's do 3 more. 3 and 2. Last one, we're gonna hold it up, just about hip height, maybe a teensy bit higher. Hand to the hip, give me little pulses. Isometrics, we're really isolating that area right through here. Little small pulses. Upper body is pretty relaxed. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, hold 1. Hand can be on the hip still, or you could bring it back for balance. We're gonna do pointed toe here, and we're gonna go into internal and external rotation. So this is one that's hard to even see. We're not just moving our foot up and down, we're trying to rotate in the hip. So if you think about it, your knee is facing up towards the ceiling, externally rotating, and then we're bringing it to try to face the floor. Sometimes that's harder. So up and down with that knee. Think about your thigh bone kind of corkscrewing in your hip. And this is a good prep for what we're doing next. One more internal rotation. We're gonna externally rotate, flex that foot. We're gonna bring it down to the floor in front of your other leg. Lift it up, and then your toe is gonna tap in the back, internal. External up and over. Internal back. Ooh, these kill. And forward. Lift and tap. Lift and tap. Trying to keep that leg super long. My waist is still off the mat. So I've made a really long line with my body. Up and forward. These will get you every time. And forward. Now, we're gonna come hip height, point those toes again, reach long again, restack those hips. If you started to fall back in this top hip, press it forward. We're gonna do circles, up and around, up and around, up and around. One more, up and around. Reverse the direction, up and around, up and around. Small, they're not very big circles today. One more circle, good job. And bring that leg down. Flexing the feet, you're gonna bend the knees, bring both knees forward just a smidge here, and then you want your feet to be kicked back just about in line with your hips. So we're gonna quickly do clams. Keep this top hip forward, open the knees. So your knee opens up towards the ceiling, going back into some of that outer tush work, and open. We should really feel this area by now. I'm burning. I hope you are too. 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2. Last one, can you hold it up and give me pulses? Oh yes, little pulses. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down to rest. Good job. Push yourself up, and let's stay facing each other. So just swing your head around to the other side of the mat. I'm gonna scooch down a little bit because I'm way longer than the mat. So your head is gonna go down and then restack. You can just see your toes, but your nice long line here. Reaching this top hip long, reaching that leg long. We're gonna take the hand to the floor. We're gonna lift that leg up and down. And here we go again on the other side. Lift and lower, keeping that hip super stacked. Don't let it roll back. Lift and lower. Let's just do 3 more. 3 and 2. Last one, you're gonna hold it up. Little pulses. These are my favorite. Love isometrics. Little extra burn. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Point those toes reaching. Remember, we've got that external rotation to internal rotation. Just holding the leg up like this takes a little work without rolling back. So then we add that little rotation in the hip and it intensifies. So we're opening up in that hip, internally rotating. Knee faces up towards the ceiling and down towards the floor. See how long you can make that leg while you're doing it. Can you get longer? And up and down. 2 more. And down. Now we're gonna open out in that hip so you're really externally rotated again. Flex that foot. We're gonna tap the heel down in front of the leg and then up and internally rotate, toes tap to the back. So it's up, external, up, internal. That one kills me every time. Up, external. It's not about how high we go right now because we're really trying to focus on the rotation. That's where we get the extra burn. Keep that leg long. And here. And back. Try not to let my waist rock too much, but it is moving a little bit here. Tightening through the core. And back. One more forward. And then let's take that leg hip height. Point the toes. Let's do our circles. So small and controlled. Small circles sometimes hurt worse anyways. Up and around, nice and stable in that body. 2 more. And then reverse. Other direction, burn baby burn. We've got 3. And 2. And 1 and hold. And knees come together. You're gonna pop those knees forward into our clams. The feet are in line with the hips here, and the knees come forward a little bit to the front of the mat. Hand to hip. We're gonna open and close. Hip is forward. Don't let it roll back. So sometimes that means our clam isn't super wide. It's not as open, and that's okay. I'm trying to keep this hip bone facing forward. And open. So we've got all that work. I'm sure you guys are doing awesome. Great job. We've got 4. And 3. 2. Hold it open on the last one. We're gonna do pulses. My favorite, little burn pulses. We've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest. Good job. We're gonna roll back onto our back. So right where you are, gonna go to another bridging series. So arms along at our sides. Retake your feet just a little bit of hip distance apart, and then just go to almost the width of the mat and get yourself situated in that position. We're gonna do a little bit more of a wide set bridge. Take an inhale, exhale, tuck and roll up into your bridge again, and we're gonna check in. Hold there, ribs in, tilt those hips. Tailbone is reaching, hold. Can we do little pulses where we drop both hips a little bit and lift, but we do it by tilting the pelvis. So almost like you're dropping your tailbone to the mat and then pushing your tailbone to the ceiling. Let's just do 4 more to re-get ourselves open. 2 more. Last one, you guys ready to hold? Oh yes, hold here. See how much you can find that tushy today. We're gonna do little opens of the knees now. So we're abducting, we're opening out from those hips, ribs in, hips tilted, that's hard. We're almost there. Can we do 5 more? 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold, roll down. So we're gonna roll down slow though. I know we just wanna give up and flop, but let's take our time. All the way down. Good, take our legs and we're gonna bring them all the way together. So I love this one. Fully adducted, inner thighs together, knees together, feet together. From here, we're gonna roll only halfway up. So you're gonna tilt that pelvis, you're gonna lift halfway up and hold. Can you deepen your tuck a little bit? Can you feel your sits bones coming together and your inner thighs pressing together like crazy? So you're like glued in the legs. So we're gonna add to this by doing little squeezes as if we're bringing inner thighs together even deeper. Here we go. So inner thighs come in and in and in. Really squeezing here, in. So it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but I really am. It's a good burn. Keep using your glutes, keep tucking, and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. We've got 5 more squeezes. 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Take a quick rest, roll down through those hips, and lift back up halfway. Hold there. So we're not in that full bridge. It's just like a little hip hover. We're still on our ribs. Hold that. Intensify your tuck even more if you can. Squeeze those inner thighs together. We're gonna lift both heels and lower both heels. You can see my little shake, shake, shake. Because if you're doing it well, you can really feel those deep muscles. And lower the heels. Keep squeezing those glutes and lift and lower. Finding our tissues today, that's for sure. We've got 5 and down. 4 and 3. Try not to lower those hips when you lower the heels. Last one. And hold. Can we lift and hover those heels? Squeeze those heels together. Squeeze the inner thighs together. And now we're going to take our heels and do little heel squeezes. Keep the knees together and take your heels and do little squeeze. Squeeze of the heels. You see my shaking? It's a small move, but it's really effective. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels and then lower the hips all the way down. Good job. Let's go back into that figure 4 stretch really quick. Right leg crosses over the left thigh, and maybe that's enough with your square hips, or you can pick it up again, but keep your hips down as you bring that shape in to you. We should really feel the stretch through that tush. And then the other side, keeping it short, crossing, and then bringing it in. Holding that stretch, taking that breath. Awesome job. Give yourself a little hug. Bring those knees in. Rock and roll up to seated. And you guys made it through the booty blast. Great job.